Okay, now we're going to show you how to enter your information to create your own estimate. And in the process, I'm going to walk you through showing you some of the different features that we have in the estimating system. In the upper right hand corner, you will see we've got a little button that says About Our Process. This is an area that's probably good for you to explore a little bit. It's going to tell you about our process, everything that we're going to go over right now, entering the information. Then clicking down to the paint procedure. That'll tell you all about how the guys will end up doing the painting when they come. Clicking Preparing for Painting Day. This is your homework. This is what you need to complete before we show up to your house. And then we have a frequently asked questions area. And then, very importantly, our service contract. This is the area that you need to read, and you will be initialing off on the order form that you've read and understand the service contract. So now we're going to go back to our project, clicking back to my project. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to sign in. And the important thing here is, just in case you have to walk away from your computer during entering information, and if your computer for some reason goes offline and information gets lost, signing in will automatically save whatever information you've put. So we're going to sign in. I've already created this account. So typically you would enter your email, create a password that's unique to you, but then once you have one, you're just going to sign in down here on the bottom. So that brings us back to our project, and you see we've got these great blue sections, and everything in that blue section is one room. So we're going to name this first room. We're going to do a family room. And then what you need to do is you need to categorize your room by selecting a room type. So kitchen, bathroom, hall, closet, stairway, and all other rooms. All other rooms is really going to include anything big and open. Family rooms, bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms. Then we're going to enter our dimensions that you've already measured. And if you've got questions on how to measure, we've got a little button here that says, How do I measure? A little tutorial, a little bit you can read up, and you can see, so if you've got an odd-shaped room, you're going to measure the maximum depth by the maximum width for your room. So you don't need to enter each individual square out. So now I'm going to go back to my project. And you'd also need your color code. Now it's not important to actually get your project started to have a color code, but we do require that you have your color code to us prior to your field manager coming out and doing a verification. So this is, and they all have to be Benjamin Moore colors. If you have questions about how to obtain Benjamin Moore colors, we're going to click here. Gives you two options. You can either go online, and this will bring you straight to the Benjamin Moore Personal Color Viewer, which brings up all of their color options. And they also have these room settings so you can see how colors combine. Now, what I truly recommend you do, even if you do that, is to go to Gyrie's, one of the Gyrie's locations. Now Gyrie's has more than just 2 locations, but we've got Littleton and Parker listed here, and so you can get see a map of where those stores are if you're not familiar. Now we're going to go back, and now we have to select the number of coats that you're going to have us apply. You're paying for us to do each individual coat, so we will do as many as you'd like. Typically it's not going to be more than 3, but 1, 2, or 3 coats. So we're going to select 2 because we're going to be changing colors. And so if you have questions of how do you know how many coats you need, you're going to select how many coats do I need, and it'll go over it. But basically, if you're changing more than, I would say, 2 shades, you are going to need 2 coats. Go back to my project. And we're not going to paint ceilings, but you'll see that you have 3 different options. Don't paint the ceilings, and paint popcorn ceilings. So there's definitely a difference between regular ceilings and popcorn. So you see that our total price came up to $326 for this room, this family room. Now we've got another room to add, but I don't see another room, but I do see this little button that says add a new room to this project. So we click that. Now let's say we've got a hallway that shoots off of our family room that we want. And we do have a category for hallways. So we've got a 4-foot, 12-foot hallway, another 9-foot ceiling, and keep things consistent. 2 coats. You see our price comes up to $210. Now we're going to do one more room. And the reason I want to show you this is because once you've entered 3 rooms, automatically pops into a 15% discount. I'm going to leave the color selection blank just to show you that it doesn't matter. Now we're going to actually add the ceiling in this bathroom. Okay, so you see how instantly the pricing does change. And at any point, what you can do is you can say, well, what would it be if we kept the same color? Instantly it changes. Okay, so now we're going to stop entering rooms. You can enter as many rooms as you need. And you come down to the bottom. Next option is Benjamin Moore has different grades of paint, different products. So we've got Super Spec, which is their contractor grade, Regal, which has been their top of the line paint forever, and then Aura, which is their newest line, environmentally friendly, color lock system. It's really great paint, but it is a little bit more expensive. If you have questions on this, well, let me just change. It automatically changes our price. We're going to go back to our contractor grade. And then if you have questions, you can click on what paint should I choose, and you'll see some information pop up. You'll see that we have a 3-room discount that popped up right after we entered our 3rd room. So our final cost was $768. Project timeline says it's 2 days. Most likely this is only going to take us 1, but we like to tell you 2 days just in case we have a late start date on the first day, or it's a maximum of 2 days. Next is we're going to schedule. We see a little review, so each room is actually listed out. And then the next area, you've got a choice of a couple start times. We give you a range just because with traffic we don't know how long it's going to actually take us to get out to your house. But you can actually choose what time you'd like us to arrive between those 3 options. And then, as I referred to earlier, we've got our paint service contract all listed here. It's the same information as what was on the other area. And then you need to initial here in order to move forward. And then you get to schedule. This isn't an absolute, but what it does is gives us a heads up of what days you'd like to see us come out. Someone in our office would call you and finalize scheduling and go over everything you've entered. Final step, submit your order. This is where you're going to enter in the rest of your information. You can put any kind of notes or memos, questions that you have that you want us to answer right away. Enter your credit card information, then we're going to finalize and process. One thing I'll let you know is that even though you're entering credit card information to us now, we're not going to hit that credit card until after our field manager has come out, verified everything that you've entered into the system, and that you have no more questions and that you are feeling good and comfortable about moving forward. Then you would sign off on our sheet that basically gives us the go-ahead to not only start work but also to take that 30% deposit on your credit card, and we move forward.